Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one. Welcome back to World of Tanks with the Mighty Jingles. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Actually, it's going to be very different. First of all, it sees the return of Aurorik 78. Except he's not in a light tank. He's in a medium tank, the Object 140. He's actually not much of a medium tank player, but more on that in a bit. The other unusual thing about this battle is that there are no engine sound effects. And when I mentioned this in a previous World of Tanks video, you all said I should feature this battle anyway, but do the engine noises myself. Alright then. I don't know what it is with Wargaming's replay files. World of Warships has the team score bug, where the scores at the top of the screen are reversed, but you don't know which it is until somebody sinks a ship and you see the scores change. And World of Tanks has had this no engine noises replay bug for a very long time. There used to be a way of fixing it. If you're watching a replay and at the start of the battle you couldn't actually hear the tank's engines revving up, wait until the battle starts and then use the replay functions to rewind the battle 15 seconds by pressing the left arrow key, and it would force a restart of all the engine noises and it would work fine. And yes, the WZ-132 over there picked a really bad moment to pop out right in front of a T-62A and an Object 140. And yes, he is going to be the first casualty of today's battle, but he only just got there ahead of the T-62A that ended up killing him. But yeah, there used to be this bug in the game that went unresolved for years, the complete lack of engine noises once a battle had started, but you were able to work around it. But don't worry, very recently Wargaming fixed it. They didn't fix the bug, obviously that still exists, hence today's video, but they did fix the workaround. Now just trying to rewind the battle 15 seconds just crashes the replay, so good job Wargaming. Not a particularly good start for his teammate in the T-62A, but a very good start for Aurorik, in a class of tank that he just doesn't like. I know it's very unusual people say they don't like medium tanks in World of Tanks, because they're probably the most played class of tanks, at least amongst the overachievers. But he's got something like less than 10% of all battles played in medium tanks, and this is the only one that he actually likes. It might be because out of all of the high tier mediums in the game, this is the one that's probably the most like a light tank. Nice low profile, good camouflage, excellent mobility and acceleration, fantastic hull traverse, but a light tank with a serious bite, because it has excellent damage per minute, general all-round good gun handling, reasonable accuracy, and distinctly un-Russian gun depression. Although, steady, let's not get too carried away. It's still pretty bad, it's just pretty good by Russian standards. The Object 140 gets a whopping 7 degrees of gun depression. Still, with the majority of his 60,000 plus games played in World of Tanks in light tanks, Aurorik is very much a light tank player at heart. So when a Manticore and a Batchat go for it, he understands the assignment. Ramming speed on the 121B, the 121 trying to make a break for it, and well, he takes out the Batchat 25T. The Manticore's thinking, oh shit, I'm next, he's trying to get out of there. He can't beat the 121's reload though. But the 121 is next. That's 3,500 damage. The battle's not even 4 minutes old. It was a decent trade for the 121 though. I mean, he took out an extremely dangerous medium and an extremely dangerous light tank. Aurorik takes a brief moment to mourn the loss of his spirit animal, the Manticore. Oh, Foch 155 on a single hit point. One of Aurorik's teammates is going to be extremely upset with that. But hey, a kill's a kill. It's difficult to see how the enemy team are possibly going to win this. I mean, as well as being down 3 kills, they're also on less than half the remaining hit point total of Aurorik's team. Aurorik himself, the only damage he's taken this far, in fact he hasn't taken any. That ram on the 121B earlier, he never actually made, well he did make contact with it, but just a fraction of a second after the Batchat got the killing shot into it. So he actually took no damage from the ram. 4 enemies left. Okay, 3 enemies. I really do need to stop doing these kill counts, don't I? So the second I say what the scores are, the game just says challenge accepted and proves me wrong. Okay, so how much damage? He's up to 4,500-ish now. How much damage, and how many kills do you think he's going to end this battle on? Because it's at this point, it's no longer a question of which side's going to win, is it? I mean, let's be honest here. They do have 3 extremely dangerous tanks. Well, I mean, they're all extremely dangerous tanks. This is an all tier 10 battle, but an Object 272, an E50M, and an FV 4005. There's the Object. Oh, doesn't appear to be too cheap to pack a fire extinguisher. Either that or, well, the game's lost anyway. There's not a lot of point. Took a hit there from the E50M. That's the first damaging hit he's taken this entire game. Now, a shot against the angled lower glacis of an E50M from the front like that was never going to penetrate, so yeah. But notice that Aurorik is getting the E50M between himself and the Object just in case, which is unusual because it's most likely at this point in the battle that this is where the few surviving enemy tanks start racking up lots and lots of damage. Because the victorious team are no longer playing against the enemy, they're playing against each other in an attempt to see who can score the most amount of damage and kills on the few remaining enemy tanks. So they do tend to throw a bit of caution to the wind in an effort to farm those last few hit points and damage, and there's a ram, and get those last couple of kills, which can often allow the few surviving tanks on the enemy team to end up looking a little bit better than they actually were by just farming damage on friendly tanks that no longer really care whether they take a hit or not. So you asked for it, and there it is. Engine sound effects by me, Carnage by Aurorik 78, Mark of Mastery, Ace Tanker, Confederate and High Caliber in the Object 140. Not a light tank, but if you had to put together a list of medium tanks in the game that play most like light tanks that aren't the Batchat 25T, the Object 140 would probably feature fairly high on the list. And it's probably the reason why it's the only medium tank he actually likes playing. Top of the team, although not that far ahead of the next best player in the T57 Heavy, but way ahead, like almost twice the base experience of everybody else on the team. Oh, and did you notice something else different and very unusual about today's battle, aside from the fact that it's Aurorik 78 and he's not in a light tank? You might have missed it, although I'm sure some of you probably noticed and have probably already commented on it, but for those of you who still have no idea what I'm talking about, let me just take you back to the beginning of the battle. In fact, right before the battle started, while the countdown timer's going. Do you see what it is? 0 gold ammunition. Turns out, if you're any good, you don't actually need it. Which means that even without his personal reserves bonus, he would have still earned money on the outcome of that match. Although you may have also noticed that that's only true because he was running a premium account. Yeah, Wargaming aren't that generous. What's that? Didn't use any gold ammo, the practical alternative to skill? Played a great game, earned a Mark of Mastery and Ace Tanker, and you want to earn a profit off the result of that battle? Yeah, pay us. Just to expand on one of my other more common quotes, if you can't take a joke, you shouldn't be playing World of Tanks at tier 10. But let's hear it for Aurorik 78. He's back, and he's still kicking ass, although this time he's not in a light tank, he's in a medium, but he's still driving it like he stole it. And of course, because you all demanded it, improvised engine noises provided today at no extra cost thanks to World of Tanks' crappy replay system and everybody's favourite benevolent, at least today, Gnome Overlord. Hope you all enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.